it just brought to my attention a lot of the things I say in regards of a nation divided will not stand, or a kingdom divided will not stand. And I also mentioned about sleeper cells in the country, as well as a civil war, because, here's what I see. I see a floodgate, a floodgate of migrants who were let into this country to be used for votes. But at the same time, you have a lot of migrants from all backgrounds who simply want to benefit off of what you can get in the American heaven, the American golden city, Babylon. They come from countries where they don't have the same privileges or freedoms or the ability to make money in this country. And this is what, as wicked as Donald Trump is, this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to pull back the old American standards. But some people, they just have Trump deranged syndrome, and they can't see this. They can't see that it's a battle between one group of white people and another battle between another group of white people. They can't see this. So the old school white people, the old school red-blooded Americans, they're creating a pushback or building a wall. Meanwhile, the other side, with the green hair and the fruity behavior and don't tell your mom if you have these feelings like you're not who you were born and told you are, if you know what I mean. I can't be direct because this might be a little spicy and it might step on some toes. But, that's what I see, and that's exactly what it is. And people have a problem with that. They have a serious problem with that. But it's all cool. You understand? The truth is the truth. And I'm going to give you brothers and sisters some advice. If you know something is the truth, stand on it. If you know something is the truth, do not be a follower and follow the common herd. You understand? Don't ever, ever, ever back away from the truth. And let me get rid of these. I want you to check this out because I don't got much time. Check this out. I found this really interesting. Check it out.
Internet streamer Sneeko had some fiery remarks during an Egyptian soccer celebration in New York City. Take a look.
Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Oh no! This is the Islamic Republic of New Yorkistan. Islam will be in every household. Inshallah, the whole world is Muslim.
Now, how do you think that makes the average red-blooded, love it or leave it, white man, woman, and child feel? They got the same situation to a degree in the UK. There's going to be an explosion in this country. I'm telling you, and I predict, and I've been saying this for a while. Well, I'm not going to say that because you're going to say, well, how you know that, Quash? I'm telling you, something major, major, major is going to go down in this country. And people are going to be so upset and so deranged and so murderous that there'll be no more country after a while. How has it come to this? A weak, flimsy body who lets everybody in their house for profit or gain or corruption. How long you think your house is going to stand? Would you let strangers just live in your basement? If you had a 2-bedroom, would you just let any person just live into your home? Or what if you was forced to have strangers live in your basement, a whole family? how strong would your family be after that? I mean, really think about it. How strong would your family be? Your family would not be very strong. And these, be careful what I say. A lot of people in this country, they know this. They see the weakness in America. They see how weak the country is getting. Now, not only do you have migrants waving the flag of their country, but they're spitting spiritually, and in certain cases physically, on the American flag. They're spitting on the American flag. So on the white man's side, the hard body white man's side, they're saying this will erode the country. Then on the left side, which is the liberals with the green and purple hair and the fruity boy mentality, they're saying they have a right to express how they feel. You understand? So I just see weakness all around. That's what I see. I just see total weakness all around. And hey, let the chips fall where they may. Because my forefathers was brought here against their will to cultivate stolen land. And I've been through it. I showed you a list of different companies that profited from stolen land. Now the doors are open on the stolen land, and people are mad because they can't eat in their land. And a lot of the reasons why people are going through the hardship they're going through in other countries is based on the greed in this country, or what they call the little Satan Israel. Look it up. I'm not saying that's in all cases. I'm just saying it's just something worth looking into. People are mad. But when you look at this, this is the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of the end. They try to cut back visas on foreign students who come here, and they say all types of evil, derogatory statements against Babylon, Babylon being America. They're saying if you have come to this country to be educated or to take advantage of a visa, you have no business being here if you're saying the things you're saying, if you're flying your flag. How are you going to be in another country on a visa, reap the monetary benefits of that visa, reap free healthcare, reap an education, but curse out and talk smack to Uncle Sam? It's just the weakness that is in America. America, she has become weak. Very, very weak, and the world sees it. The world sees it. You understand? And us who are spiritual, we just sit on the sidelines and we watch with wisdom, because wisdom comes through experience. You understand? And well-aged man, he remembers how things used to be 25 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. But these new young people, they have no idea what the hell they are doing or what they're talking about. America has enemies. America is Babylon. And America is not really loved by people abroad, or in certain cases in its own backyard. But people need and want and desire money and prestige. Where is this going? It can't go to anything good. How can what he's saying, how could that come to good? How the hell that could come to good? This has bad written all over it.
Welcome to Mamdani's New York. You see this city? You see how it looks? Inshallah, your city looks just like this too.
All right, Billy, what'd you think?
I have a lot of thoughts. I think that we live in a country with a First Amendment and religious liberty. And so we can start there. But the idea that every home in New York City would be an Islamic home is disturbing from a Christian perspective, and also from a constitutional perspective, how is that going to, the entire city of New York is going to be converted to Islam. That's what I'm to assume like my first thought when I watched this was, is this for real? Is this serious? A, and B, if it is for real and it is serious in terms of this person's opinion and viewpoint, what in the world is going on? I do think we're seeing a number of concerning elements unfold when it comes to worldview. Listen, I'm a worldview person. I believe people can believe whatever they want. You're free to believe very bad ideas, very bad political ideas, very bad theological ideas. But my concern is when those ideas start to penetrate and take over geographic areas, what does that actually mean for the people living there? What does that mean for freedom? And I think one of the challenges that we've had with radical Islam in particular is that when it takes over a country or a location, what follows is generally very unpleasant. And so,
it's natural. It's natural to want to dominate and to rule and not share that power. It is a natural thing to dominate and to rule, but not want to share any of that power. The thing is, the people on the bottom of the shoe, the people who are the underlings, they don't like when someone rules over them, especially when your family values are altered, especially when your high days or your holidays are altered, especially when you are stripped of certain rights. Now, in Babylon the Great, which primarily is a Christian country, it was even more Christian when the settlers came here, a lot of the Christian values have gone down the toilet. A lot of the values that come out of the Bible, and some relate to Islam, are no more in this country. For example, two men can marry each other and even get benefits in this country. Two women can marry and receive the same benefits pretty much as a male and female couple. You understand? These things are violations of the Bible and the Quran. So I'm showing you that not only has America become weak, but America's moral or spiritual compass is spinning all over the goddamn place. You understand? So you got one side that wants to promote, I think it's called Sharia law. Then you got another side that wants to promote the laws that the Most High gave to Moses. And there's a clash between all three groups, the non-believers, the believers, who in some cases can be extreme as far as knowing and executing on right from wrong. So where is this going to lead? Where is this going to lead? This is not going to end well. I guarantee you it's not going to end well. And any fool at this point can see that. They can see that. Look how America has just fallen apart and it's just a scumbag country. A scumbag country. I want to show you something as far as what I'm talking about. Because how can a hard-body Christian country exist? How can a hard-body Islamic country or citizen or a great number of citizens exist when there's so much evil around? Is that possible? Is that even possible? I doubt that very much. It's not possible. The whole country has gone bat SH crazy, and it's the spirit of the devil. Look at these kids just in a store. I'm going to play it real quick.
Oh, you got your baby out here?
Because we grown. Why you my business?
So you got a tall out here because you grown?
Why you my business? He's not even a toddler.
You going on TikTok?
What's this, the new young hoes that y'all call yourself?
You see this all throughout Harlem. Young girls like damn near 16, 15 years old pushing baby carriages after midnight because they don't want to keep their hot behinds in the house. So I'm just playing this and I'm just showing you, if you had a hard-body Christian country, this would not be tolerated. If the so-called black man never lost his spirituality, this would not be tolerated. It wouldn't be tolerated, I'm telling you. And according to Shiite law, or whatever, however you pronounce it, or the Quran, this would not be tolerated. If they claim they're going to take over New York, which I doubt very much, I doubt that very much. But let's say hypothetically they had the ability and power, Most High's will, to do that. You think that this wicked, whorish behavior would be tolerated? You think if America stayed a hard-body Christian country, like as you know, in the 1800s, 1500s, you think this would have been tolerated? I understand now why the Lord says in Revelations 18, Babylon the Great has fallen, it has become the habitation of devils and every unclean bird. I understand now. And it's not just in America, it's all over the world. All over the world. One more time from the beginning.
Why you got your baby out here?
Because we grown. Why you my business?
Look at this porn.
So you got a tall out here because you grown?
Why you my business? He's not even a toddler.
You going on TikTok?
What's this, the new young hoes that y'all call yourself?
She got a baby outside.
Bitch, I'm grown. I'm minding my business. Why do you live like that?
This is spilling over into all neighborhoods. You got good black people, so-called black people, who are about their families, who are about taking care of business. They don't even want to be associated with black people now. I'm talking about the unsavory type. That's how bad it is. Then you got the devil. He wants a clean America again. And that's not going to happen. Because he's not clean. They say they're such goddamn scumbags and thieves that their system is falling apart right before them. And they lie and they hold back information. Look at this hearing, this proceeding with Dr. Fauci. Very few networks, I was scrolling through some networks, very few networks, unless they're conservative, are covering that story. This man, like I said yesterday, caused millions of deaths all over the world, not just this country. And nobody's going to jail? Nobody is being brought up on the carpet? Is that how it works? This is crazy. So me as a spiritual man, and I know you brothers and sisters are, you're probably on the same bench. We're going to sit on the sidelines and we just going to watch this whole thing unfold because something has got to give. This image, this video of this sister, this is quite common now. She can have a baby out there looking like a whore because she's grown. She's grown. Everything is upside down. But the main thing I want to focus on, I want you brothers to understand, and where I'm coming from, is that America is in a weak state. She has opened her doors to everybody, and at the same time, she has opened the minds or the spirit of her citizens to every spirit. So I understand why Revelation says that America or Babylon is a cage of birds with every unclean spirit. I understand that now. It's just full of filthy thoughts, filthy behavior, filthy marriages, filthy children, filthy education, a filthy, filthy country. So I understand now on a much deeper level why she is filthy. Anything goes in Babylon. Anything goes. It's the law of the beast. But the beast has been doing dirt to people for so long. The beast has enemies. The beast has enemies. How long do you think this thing will go? How long? See right here. So the first verse, it says, and after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven. That's Yahweh Shai, who they call Christ, I believe, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. Remember, we talked about the light yesterday. The light today, current, is the spirit of who they call Yahweh Shai, who represents the Most High. And the earth was lightened with his glory. Second verse. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. Of devils. The average Christian today is a devil. The average black woman today is a devil. The average white woman today is a devil. The system is ran by devils, whether it's the Congress or the Senate or the president, it's ran by devils. The whole system has fallen down. And then when you read on, it says, and the hold of every foul spirit. Look at that, of every foul spirit. So what are the foul spirits the Lord is talking about? The ones when you break the commandments. I can't name them because I'll get a flag, but you know, foo-foo boys, that's a foul spirit. Foo-foo girls, girl on girl action, that's a foul spirit. So you got one side trying to slow down and stop the foul spirits. Then you got one side saying there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with men and women's sports. Foul spirit. There's nothing wrong with cutting off your genitals because you feel you are of that sex. According to the Bible, not me, YouTube and Facebook, that's a foul spirit. That's a foul spirit. Here's the next one. Check it out.
I noticed your tattoo. Could you say what it says?
It says Hamas.
Yeah.
This is Little Yemen.
Hamas. Did he say Hamas?
Does this look like the Bronx to you?
Shalom, brother. Shalom.
I'm filming a YouTube video about Little Yemen. Can I ask you a question?
I am speaking English.
Arabic?
Yeah, I am not strong in English.
This is Ibrahim al-Amdi Way. So this was the former president of Yemen, and this street, the main street, has been renamed after him.
If you didn't know that there was a Little Yemen, neither did I, until Mamdani made this map of neighborhoods around New York City, including Little Egypt, Little Bangladesh, and Little Palestine, but he left out Little Italy.
The governing body of the capital of Yemen is the Houthis, and their slogan is Death to America.
My first stop in
How can he get away with this? Unless internally you got one side of Edom fighting against the other side of Edom. There's no way in the 50s and even the 60s and even the 70s that you could fly a Yemen flag and step on an American flag. There's no way you can fly today a Palestinian flag in the Bronx, in Manhattan. There's no way that would have flew in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So that my only conclusion is that Babylon the Great is fallen. It's become weak. America has become weak. It has to be. For you to leave out Little Italy as a mayor, but put, a flag of a little Yemen, of a country that the Houthis are coming out of and siding with Iran and attacking American ships or attacking ships, period, that's a sign of weakness to me. That's a very big red flag of weakness to me.
Little Yemen was the Bronx Muslim American Society Mosque, which just got $1 million of taxpayer funds to build another location 10 times the size, all while being an arm of the Muslim Brotherhood. More on that later in this video.
How is that possible? Taxpayers' money to build a mosque supporting and Muslims from another country that supports the Islamic Brotherhood, which is clearly against America. It's clearly against America. Babylon the Great is fallen and has become a cesspool of every unclean and hateful bird. This is why they call it the melting pot. It's a vicious game, man. It's a vicious game, and it's not going anywhere. You better pay close attention to this, because I don't see how it's possible that there are no sleeper cells in Little Yemen. There are no sleeper cells in a Muslim community. There's no sleeper cells in these bodegas all over New York City and perhaps all over the country. Come on. Something is going to happen. The fungus and the disease has spread so far into America. The cancer is so aggressive spiritually in America. You can't stop this. You can't stop this. This is not going to stop. This is going to continue. And it's going to get nasty.
Yeah.
Leaders at the center say the Muslim community is growing and an expansion is long overdue.
So it says, ICE law enforcement may not enter without a judicial warrant by CARE, New York.
No ICE or law enforcement, and yet they're taxpayer funded. Go figure. Well, I'm neither, so let's go in. This is the Islamic takeover of the Bronx. Welcome back to the Nate Friedman Show.
I'm making a YouTube video about Little Yemen. Can I ask you a question for a video? It'll be fun.
But I'm not from Yemen.
That's fine. I just about about the neighborhood, about the mosque. I'm just doing street interviews. Getting everybody's perspective. Could I just ask you like a question or two? It'll be super fast. Okay? Yeah. All right. No, it's okay. We can do it here. I just came back from the UK, and someone said to me, "Inshallah, Islam will take over the West." What is your thought on that? Would you like to see Islam take over the West?
Well, I pray for that.
You pray for that.
And
wonderful.
Inshallah, if it happened that way, it's all gonna be good.
Yeah.
Here's a question: What would you Negroes, you unbelievers, I'm talking about, who may stumble on this video? How do you feel about that? What if they took over? Would you bend the knee to Islamic law? Would you? That would be very interesting to see. You understand? If they started beating the hell out of people and tried to take over. That's not going to happen, though. That's not going to happen. But, I mean, even this guy said he would like to see that. He would like to see that. I know you brothers and sisters wouldn't.
It's only one God, right?
Yes.
So everybody must...
Yeah. And for when?
So who's the one God? Everybody says there's one God and they have the best belief. Like I have a Christian friend and he was complaining about another Christian group he used to belong to. He wasn't actually complaining. He was just making a point. And he said at one point he believed that they had the absolute truth and they were false and they don't have the absolute truth. And they think they do, and he just kept going on. So I asked him a question. So let me ask you a question. The group you with now, do they have absolute truth? Or is that what you're saying? He said, he didn't answer me. Everybody believes they have the absolute truth. Everybody believes that their God is the real and true and living God. So what happens when someone violates? In other words, what happens if your God is against a certain action, or my God is against a certain action? At what lengths physically do you go? What do you execute if you are a hard-body Islamic extremist? Or if you're a hard-body Christian extremist, then what lengths would you go to execute your God's judgment? Because this sounds pretty radical to the point where they would get physical if they had that power. A Christian would just judge you and talk smack. We would just judge you out the Bible, us as Israelites. But I'm saying, what happens when the American-minded, liberal, feminist woman wants to shake her behind down 42nd Street, half-dressed, breasts bulging, high beams on? What happens? Because, these are issues, man. These are issues that I find very interesting. I find these issues very, very interesting.
When Islam takes over the West, would you like to see Sharia law be instilled?
Sharia law is like say Quran law. But if you say Sharia law, it's like something.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like ooh, Sharia law, right? But I've read the Quran, and I was wondering, one of the things it says in the Quran is that, a woman's testimony is worth half of a man's. Have you heard that? Like her, yeah. Okay. Would you like to see that be implemented into the laws in the United States?
Women's law. If
the prophet said, isn't the witness of a woman equal to half of that of a man? A woman said yes. He said, this is because of the deficiency of the woman's mind. I mean, excuse me. I'm not knocking you sisters, but he got a point. I mean, not he, but what's written there is a point. At one point, women couldn't even have credit cards in this country. Understand? Women didn't have the same rights to vote or own property like men. Today, women do what the hell they want. Maybe that's the problem, or part of a. Maybe that's a part of a problem. I think it is. But it's interesting.
If it's implemented in the United States, I think it's also going to help.
If Sharia law,
he said it's going to help. But now, remember what we saw here on Facebook. Now, she don't have an inkling of the Holy Spirit or Sharia law. This chick, this is a straight up whore right here. But she's not trying to hear nothing. And she got a baby. And probably will have more babies with different dudes, like a arf pit bull. Like a pit bull. Look, let's play it again.
Why you got your baby out here?
Because we grown. Why you my business?
Look how she's dressed. The Bible nor the Quran promotes or permits this. What are they going to do when God's judgment reigns? Or what are they going to do when there's an absolute collapse and holy men from the Bible now is scarce but around? Would this be tolerated? Is this part of the law is done away with? Christians? Is this permitted in Islam, Muslims? There's only one God, and at some point, people are going to have to make a rational decision as far as who is that one God and how do we get to it? Because again, it says for the highlighted part said, every foul spirit in a cage, America, or the system, of every unclean and hateful bird. That's what the Most High says. This is an unclean spirit. This is not a clean spirit. But bottom line, I'm simply saying there's only one God. So who and how do you prove what is the one and true and living God? I roll with the Bible. First of all, the Bible speaks of prophecies. There's no book that expounds or executes on prophecy like the Holy Bible. America being Babylon, Egypt, Rome, spiritually. Who we are as a people, physically. How we're hated by all people or all nationalities, biblically and spiritually. I mean, that makes sense to me. Psalms 96 verse 4 says, for the Lord is great and great to be praised. For he is to be feared above all gods. Above all gods. Fifth verse, for all the gods of the nations, including the Arab God of Allah and the Chinese gods and the Japanese gods, the African gods, for all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heaven, or heavens, sorry. So the Lord said the other gods of the nations are idols. Yet they still hold on to their beliefs and they say that their God is the true and living God. Then the unbelievers, they're comfortable in their wickedness. And here we are. Here we are. These are the results of having an unclean spirit or not knowing the Most High.
Because we grown. Why you my business?
So you got a tall out here because you grown?
Why are you my business? He's not even a toddler.
You're going on TikTok.
What's this, the new young hoes that y'all call yourself?
She got a baby outside.
Bitch, I'm not grown. I'm minding my business. Why do you live like that?
Couldn't imagine being raised by one of these mamas, so-called mamas.
Okay, now say it like you happy.
Oh my God, you be digging in your ass.
Now say it like you said.
You be digging in your ass.
No hope for the next generation.
Now say it like you mad.
Not these kids.
You be digging in your ass.
Told y'all. Look at this shit. I don't even really have any words for this type of stuff.
Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit.
Where are my...
Can't even count to 9 probably.
Spin that.
When I saw this part, it kind of broke me. Because here you have a child. This is why the Most High, I understand why the Lord said slay utterly old and young. Maids and girls or children, something children. Because she's tainted. The wicked has poured out her wicked into this child. And this is not even an adult. This child doesn't even have a chance to function as a normal human being. It doesn't even have a chance to find the Most High or live in the Most High. This is absolutely deplorable, what we are seeing. And it's not just one child here and 1,000 out of 1,000,000. Because I know you stupid Negroes, I know how you think. That's just one kid. Everybody, what about the ones that graduate from such and such tech? And what about the youngest lawyer ever? The cases like these are overwhelming the Black community. This child can't even count to 20, but knows this stupid rap song, Spin It or Spend It, whatever it's called. This is absolutely shameful and sad.
Where are my...
Can't even count to 9 probably.
Spend that money sad. 25th is hard to guess. Girl gonna go, yeah, bet.
Y'all proud of this.
Just way I bet.
It's not that they ain't that pretty. There's no, see, they're not accountable for their actions. The problem is no one is being chastised, or really there's no pressure on them for such behavior. So what's the solution? You either get taught the word of the Most High or you die. You either follow the laws of the Most High or you die. That's the answers. But on the flip side, the Muslims, they're going to try to come hard. Well, they think they're going to try to come hard body and force Sharia. I think it's called Sharia law, Shia law, whatever it's called. That's not going to happen. Us as Black people, we don't borrow. We don't borrow what we do, but we have our own culture that the Most High gave us. We have our own ways that the Most High gave us. Islam was borrowed from the Arabs. So Black people are following Islam. That's not the language and religion of your forefathers. That's Ishmael's thing. That's not your thing. That's Ishmael's religion. That's not your thing. Walking around the Kaaba and that don't even fit your spirit. It don't even fit your spirit if you're spiritual enough to see it. We see it. We see it. But we also see how America destroyed us, man. America must be judged, man. But again, how do you let people in your country, in your backyard, how do you open your front doors and let yourselves come to this? The same, see, and it's God, because the same way you see our children and how our people behave, that comes from the white man. Oh, that was 200 years ago. I'm seeing these videos with white people saying that's 200 years ago. Get over it, forget it. You got cars and music and so on and so forth. That thing is still messing with our heads to this day. I'm talking about slavery and the system. So this is God's way of punishing them, man. We watch them get weaker and weaker, and we stand on the sidelines and we face the east and we look towards our homeland, which is Jerusalem or Israel. And we tell the Lord, Lord, I love you. The water, meaning thank you for letting us in this truth or in your Holy Spirit, and roast and burn the hell out of America. And don't spare nobody but your righteous. This is what we pray for. This is what I pray for. I'm out.